Hello everyone, my name is Daisy and welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing with you all my favorite art supplies. I had so much fun sorting through all of my materials. Featured in this video are items that I keep coming back to time and time again. And hopefully it will help inform you on what I find essential to my craft. To support me as a small artist, please like, subscribe, and comment on this video. I am so thankful for you all. So without further ado, let's get started. To begin, let's start with what I consider the foundation to art, pencils. I don't have a particular brand for pencils. Most of mine are gifted by other people, so there is a wide range on kinds. Because of this, I have so many pencils, starting from 5H pencils all the way up to about 8B. However, I find that my two most used, no matter the brand, are 2B and 6B pencils. When I complete a drawing, those are the two that I mainly reach for. I use the 2B for more precise lines, and the 6B for that dark, soft shading. But for more detailed pictures, I do still use a wider range of kinds, especially for those ultra-thin lines or really dark shading. But for any new artists out there wanting to buy art supplies on a budget, you definitely can start with just a 2B and a 6B pencil. I also sometimes just use mechanical 2B pencils. These are especially convenient when I am on the go. And then for erasers, I just make sure to always have a basic white eraser and a kneaded eraser. And then the last pencil essential is a few art blenders. These give a really nice finishing touch to any art sketch by blending in the harsh lines. Moving on to colored pencils, I use the Prismacolor brand most often, and also I have some from just a generic Amazon brand. I don't do super detailed colored pencil drawings, but for what I do use them for, these have worked wonderful. I mainly use colored pencils to go over watercolor paintings. This technique makes watercolor paintings look like storybook art, and so it is something that I practice from time to time, as I eventually want to illustrate a children's book that I am currently writing. Then I have a few random items that I use. I have a charcoal pen, a calligraphy pen, a fine line Sharpie, a regular pen, and a white ink pen. I use all of these randomly on different pieces of work when I am creating a piece that just needs a little extra something. A new essential of mine are my acrylic paint pens. These are a new purchase of mine that I got off of Amazon. The brand is called Pagather, and it came with 72 colors. While I don't like them as much as regular acrylics, they have made art on the go way more fun. Each pen has two kinds of nibs, a marker nib and a calligraphy one. Because while they function like markers, but still are acrylics, you can still layer paint to create a more detailed art, which I love. I also have used these to put a few finishing touches on my bigger acrylic paintings, since the marker format makes it easier to make precise lines. So for the traveling artist, these have become a must-have for me. Now, probably my most used art supplies, my acrylic paint. I use Artist Loft's academic level 1 paint. Even with years of painting, I have never upgraded to a professional level of that brand, because these have worked fine and I'm on a budget. But if I ever upgrade, I will let you know what I think. Honestly though, if it works, I'll use it. As you can see, I own many colors, but if you would like to try painting with a really small budget, you can get away with just yellow, red, blue, white, and a dark brown. The next colors I would recommend would be green and light blue. Anyways, these paints have not let me down, and I have used them and rebought more of them so many times. Then I also have watercolor paints. I used the Artist Loft brand as well, which is the white one, and then the black one is just a generic Amazon brand. I do not use watercolors nearly as much as acrylics, but I have them for the storybook art that I showed you earlier. These both have worked wonderfully for that kind of art. For both watercolor and acrylic paintings, I rely on washi tape to create beautiful borders to my artwork. Really any washi tape or painter's tape will do, but I use them too often to not include them in my essentials list. I just love the way that using washi tape can create such a clean look to a picture, making it look so professional. Next on my list of essentials are paintbrushes. Obviously, you can't paint as much as I do and not put paintbrushes on your favorite art supplies. While I have many paintbrushes, my favorites are my square brushes for structured lines, round brushes for a romantic flair to my paintings, miniature brushes for the smallest details on my art pieces, angled brushes for the awkward angles that need structure, and then finally my specialty brushes, which I have a fan brush, a blending brush, and then a large brush for getting started on big paintings. These are the brushes I use on a regular basis. If you are wanting to know what you would need starting out, I recommend at least one of most of these, with the exception of the specialty brushes, which you can always get later on. Continuing on in my favorites list are my sketchbooks. These are the sketchbooks I use most often. First, my smallest one. This is the one I use a lot for traveling, as it is little and easy to carry along. It works well with acrylic pens, which is great because it is just mixed media paper, not acrylic, which tends to be more expensive. The next one is just my basic sketchbook. While I don't draw a lot, I use this notebook as my early sketches of future paintings. It is just your basic drawing notebook and works well. You can see that I drew out my recent Christmas painting that I posted a few weeks ago to figure out how I wanted to place everything. I also have this acrylic paper notebook, which is unopened since I just finished using my last one. And then this mixed media notebook is a painting practice notebook for me. It is for when I want to mess around with painting or try to learn a new technique. I do a lot of my storybook art in this one. I like having it because it is for experimentation, and I don't have to worry if it looks good or matches other pieces of work inside. This is my absolute favorite notebook, which is for when I want to try to paint something for what I consider my art portfolio. I try to do my absolute best on whatever I put into this sketchbook, and also try to make it look cohesive to the other pieces of art inside. My goal for this one is for it to become a snapshot of what I do best as an artist, or a glimpse into what kinds of pieces I create. Call it my little art gallery, if you will. I can't wait to see how it looks once I have finished it. A few last small essentials. I have my porcelain painting palette, which I got recently and absolutely love. It has made painting so much more enjoyable. I also have my art bag, which I randomly got on sale at Hobby Lobby. I love this bag because it is structured really well for notebooks, so they don't bend or get damaged, and it can even fit a small canvas, as you can see. And it is just the right amount of pockets for random small art supplies. Until buying this bag in the last year, I haven't ever had an official travel art bag, and I don't think I could go back now. So that concludes my list of my favorite art essentials. I can't wait to hear from you all on any of your favorite art supplies in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.